the city got calls. It was not the city's event, but we got calls about the crowd because having it in the youth center, you've had a very large crowd there. So we were very interested in it and proposed a partnership to you.
You did.
Yes. And I'm like, Joanne, you've got to get out of that building. It's too small. So you had it your second year.
Well, we had it the first time in November of 14.
Right.
The second time, our attendance doubled, and that was in April of 15. And then by November, we were stubborn and stayed in the youth center. And you know, I felt bad for all the people that came because we had so many people waiting outside, and I knew we had a problem. And then when I got your phone call that Monday morning, I was relieved and overjoyed that the city would consider partnering with me in a much larger event that encompassed a whole lot more than vintage kitchenwares.
Well, let's tell everyone where it's going to be and the dates.
Well, it's going to be in Gym B, which is the large gym. It's almost 13,000 square feet.
At Central Square Complex.
At Central Square Complex, right downtown Douglas. April 8th and 9th, it's about 2.5 weeks away. In the afternoon of Friday, from 2 to 6, we set the time, and then on Saturday from 8 to 2.
Okay, so it's open to the public on Friday from 2 to 6 and 8 to 2 on Saturday.
That's correct.
Is there an admission fee?
There is. There's a small admission fee of $3 to help cover the cost of promoting the show and advertising. We're doing advertising on several radio stations and a local television station as well.
And although this started out as a little swap meet for old milk glass and Pyrex, tell everyone how it has grown in some of the, I guess, treasures they can expect to come and browse during the event.
Well, like I said, we've got about 60 vendors coming from all over the Southeast, and they'll have a variety of goods: painted furniture, lamps, old tin toys, coins, costume jewelry, fine jewelry, dishes. I mean, anything that would come from an old Southern home place. Buckets, yard decor. Linens. It's going to be fabulous. Linens are a hot item right now. It's going to be fabulous. It really is. I get phone calls every day from my vendors wanting to increase the amount of space that they have reserved because they've found more and more treasures to bring. It's really something that South Georgia and this area hadn't seen in a long time.
That's neat, and I know you're anticipating anywhere between 1,500 to maybe 2,500 people to come to this event.
I am, and no more waiting outside. We'll have plenty of room in the venue and plenty of good food and snacks too.
Well, anytime an event like this comes to our community, and I want to back up and say this too, you know, we, the City of Douglas, we spearhead organizing 2 events a year. Okay. The South Georgia Outdoor Expo and what was the Bikes, Blues, and Barbecue Festival. We merged those 2 events together, and by doing so, that left a void in the springtime. So it was the perfect time to partner with you and the Southern Home event to kind of fill that void. And so we're pleased with it, and we're looking forward to a great event as well.
Well, I'm very appreciative of the City of Douglas for coming forward and partnering with us. As you know, of course, you and I presented it to the commissioners. It was voted unanimously, and I'm happy that we can offer this to Coffee County. I am.
Oh yes, because like you said, those vendors coming from outside the community, that's going to bring people overnight to our community outside of the Southern Home Market. They're going to eat in our restaurants.
They are.
They're going to buy gas. They're going to shop in the store. Stay in our hotels, so we're very, very proud of that. You're also going to have a food vendor on site, right?
I am. Poor Boys Restaurant has a license to cater, and so they will be bringing in barbecue and all the trimmings, and then we have a lady that specializes in baked goods, and she'll have a lot of snacks for us where you could snack or have lunch and spend, you know, the whole afternoon. We fully intend for people to come and spend 3 or 4 hours with us. It'll be a joyful place. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Well, you brought some of your t-shirts with you today. Tell us about the shirt.
Well, we had shirts made in all sizes and in several colors. Of course, this is the yellow, and it has the logo on the front and the huge logo on the back.
Very nice shirt.
And we have them for pre-sale. You could contact me, or we'll have a few for sale at the event. And to contact me, you could go to Facebook and look up Southern Home Vintage Market, or you could look up my telephone number in the telephone book and call me, and I will reserve you a shirt.
I know that you are pretty much full on vendors, but if vendors are out there and they listen and they see this, do you still have spaces?
I do have space because the gym is so large. We will be drawing it off, to scale on graph paper in the in the next week or so. I do have space available, but if somebody is interested in being a vendor, they would need to go ahead and contact me as soon as possible.
Okay. Do you have a need? Normally when the city, we partner with events, we always ask this question, do you have a need for volunteers if someone needed?
I do. I do. Several of the vendors have asked for volunteers to come help them load and unload. Now, I know it's not the most prestigious job and maybe it's a tiring job, but some of these vendors are middle-aged to older people like myself coming from out of town, and they would like a volunteer, maybe some young men that would help them unload their car and help set up their booth.
Okay.
We do. That's what we would need volunteers for at this point.
And if there's anyone out there listening who has the muscles and want to qualify for this job, they would just give you a call.
They would. It would not be heavy lifting, but it would just be helping lift a few boxes and crates out of someone's car.
Okay.
For setup and for pack up when the show's over.
Okay. Any other details you want to share with us about the event?
I hope this event is such a success that we could go back before the commissioners again and ask for a partnership next year.
Yes.
And I hope the community supports me and the city of Douglas and comes to it and enjoys it as much as us vendors, as much as we will.
Well, we know that you are a very, very busy lady. It's not like you don't have anything to do managing properties and, Lott True Value Hardware Store and other private things that you do, but just to take the time to even consider expanding it on behalf of the city of Douglas, I would like to thank you for your time in organizing this event.
Well, thank you. I've told everybody that partnering with the city of Douglas is a match made in heaven. I'm so appreciative what you and your staff have done for us too. Okay,
so we're looking forward to it. That is going to be the Southern Home Vintage Market at Central Square Complex in downtown Douglas on April the 8th. The doors will open to the public from 2 to 6 p.m. and on Saturday, April the 9th, from 8 a.m. until 2 p.m. Come early. You do not want to miss this opportunity, especially if you are a collector or like me, just interested in getting a hobby or just coming out to see what it's all about. All right. So Joanne, thank you for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
2.5 weeks.
You're welcome. Down. We're counting. Okay, we're going to take a break and be back with more Douglas on My Mind right after this break.
The City of Douglas and the Southern Home Vintage Market invite you to downtown Douglas Central Square Complex. Dealers from all over the Southeast will gather here with a huge selection of vintage decor and antiques. This market will feature treasures like furniture, depression glass, old Pyrex and kitchenwares, repurposed wood, painted furniture, vintage jewelry, all things for home and garden, barbecue snacks, and drinks. This indoor market will be Friday, April 8th from 2 to 6 and Saturday, April 9th from 8 to 2. Grab a friend and find the shortest route to Douglas.
We're back from break, and thanks for continuing to watch Douglas on My Mind. Joining me on the show now is Ms. Al Walker, who is the manager of the Georgia Department of Labor Douglas Career Center. Welcome to the show today.
Thank you.
And I'm glad you're here so you can give us all kind of information about the Douglas Career Center. And I want to just kind of open before coming on the show. I was telling you I'm one of those who have referred to your office as the unemployment office. So spank me, beat me, because you are much more than that. So for those like me who still may refer to it, tell us about the mission of the Department of Labor and what are some of the directions Commissioner Butler is taking your office.
Well, our main mission is for us to assist individuals and businesses in creating economic prosperity. Basically, what that means is finding those people who want to work a job and getting good workers for those employers so their business can continue and that we can have more economic growth in the community. And that's a major part of it.
What are some of the services that your office offers to make that match happen?
Well, one of the services we have, which is a new program, it's called Employ Georgia.
Okay.
And we are tailoring ourselves like other states, Florida and Georgia, not Georgia, I'm sorry, South Carolina. And it's basically a system where the person can come in and create an account, put in their work history, and based on certain words and phrases that they use, kind of like federal resumes, it's going to match them up with jobs that are out there. And believe it or not, the jobs are coming from places like Career Builders. Each and every business that decides that they're going to put a job out there on Indeed.com, Monster.com. So it's sending them from thousands and thousands of what we call stringers, and it's basing it on certain terms, phrases, and skills that those people have in there. And people can put up to 5 different resumes in the system, and it will actually, once they've put in their work history, it's going to actually send them jobs. Just today, I was helping a gentleman put in his resume. When we finished, he only had 1 job. And I said, press on the key that says, I want more jobs like this. As soon as he pressed it, 200 more jobs appeared that he can easily go to work.
Wow.
So it's a wonderful system. It's just that it takes patience.
So he didn't have to stay with you very long, did he?
No, he really didn't. As a matter of fact, what he did, I was able to send him over to an employer right away. And I'm just waiting to hear if they went ahead and hired him.
Well, that's great. That's a great success story right there. We're hoping in the end that it will be, but the system worked.
Exactly.
By getting him the information. As I said in the opening, people have referred to you as the unemployment office. That's just one part of what you do, but let's talk about that for a moment. What do you offer to the unemployed for helping them, I guess, to file a claim, that sort of thing?
Right. There are ways that they can file a claim. They can do it online now without coming into the office, but we'll send them an email after that for them to come in. Or they can come in, those who aren't really used to using a computer, they can come in and we'll assist them. The one thing people need to realize, a lot of people come in and say, well, I came in to get my unemployment because I've worked for 15 years, so I've never filed. They don't pay the unemployment tax. Employers pay that tax, and it is just in case their business, there is a layoff, or they don't have enough business, and to keep workers supplying them with funds and stuff so they can live until they can find another job. So we do that with them. We also take them through the rules and responsibilities that each what we call unemployment claimant needs to know. That means they have to certify each week that they've been able, available, and actively seeking work, that they did not work or earn any wages, and that they did not refuse a job that pays them less than what they were making before. And the requirement now is that they have to have 3 job searches submitted into the system every week.
Okay.
And some people just put things in and they don't think it's being checked. However, it's being monitored by our Atlanta office so they can easily be caught, and it's happening right now that people end up having to pay that unemployment insurance back.
Wow. Well, I know you mentioned about Employ Georgia and being a career center. What other personal, I guess, career development skills do you offer to help them build a resume?
Right.
And that, other than the Explore Georgia, the profile that you were talking about?
Well, believe it or not, Unemployed Georgia, it actually builds a resume for them.
Gotcha.
So by the time they finish inputting their work history, it'll create a resume, whether it be chronological or functional or whatever they want to do. It gives them that option. It also gives them the option to say whether they want it to be searched by employers so employers can look. But the other programs that we have for veterans, we also have services for veterans, because right now there are veterans who are coming back from wars and stuff, who need jobs and other situations. So we do have a priority of service that we put on for veterans and their spouses, because remember, that's a family unit that we have to take care of. So we have services for them. We also have services for people with disabilities. Sometimes you know, you might have young people who are in special needs programs at the high school. Really, we can take them and pair them with a counselor, and that counselor can continue to help them either go to school to get a college education, or they will put them in a job with a job coach, or if they need hearing aids or